Are you sick of your job? Are you sick of your wife? Are you sick of your family? Are you sick of your parents? Well, why don't you escape for about 60 minutes and join the crew of a pirate ship? Welcome once again to the Gaming Galleon. I am your host and your Capitan for the next 60 or so minutes. It's never 60, by the way. It's never 60. Cap'n Raz. I'm Cap'n Raz. Nice to meet you. Once again, thanks for joining me. I can't do this without you. So, thanks for helping me out on the deck and keeping this little tub running. We've got a lot going on today. It is Atari Day here because we're going to be playing our first Atari game ever here on the Galleon. I'm very excited about it. We're going to be sailing out to a very exotic location, Machu Picchu, Peru. Okay? And you may not know where that is, but we'll get into that later. But it's important to know that this is an adventure today. We're going to be looking for ink and gold and a huge diamond called the Raj Diamond. Hopefully we can find it. But before we start, we're going to be getting into one of the most important things that you need to know about when you're thinking about playing Atari. We're going to be playing Pitfall 2. We've got a chest full of booty that, man, I've been waiting so long to get into this bad boy. So long. We'll get into that later. And we've also got the mailbag over here in the corner. Okay? So lots to do. Let's get into it. As I said, we're going to be playing Atari today. And there's a lot of people out there who may roll their eyes to that because Atari, in their experience, may be less than fun. It may be obsolete. It may be old. It may be antiquated. But there's a way around that. Okay? There's a way around playing an old Atari that can make it as much fun as any modern system you can play today. And we're going to talk about that. Now, here's the thing. I've mentioned before that my favorite system ever is the Nintendo Entertainment System. And I believe at the time I mentioned the reason for that is because it was the first system to really have endings. Finite endings, like Super Mario Brothers. You know, you could rescue Princess Toadstool, and Mega Man 2 you could defeat Dr. Wily. But there was more to it than that. And putting this show together this week, this voyage, it occurred to me that a big part of why I loved the Nintendo so much more than the Atari or the ColecoVision or the Intellivision was the controller. The controller was a complete game changer because the Nintendo was really the first home system that had a directional pad that you used your thumb to move around with. I mean, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Every system before that had kind of a joystick. Okay? And let's take a look at the Atari 2600 joystick to give you a better idea what I'm talking about. So here's an old Atari 2600 controller. Okay? You've got one button. Nothing wrong with a little simplicity. Pretty good working button. But then you've got this joystick. Okay? Joysticks, especially in the arcade, are great. But really only in the arcade because they're attached to, you know, I don't know, a few hundred pounds worth of wood and glass. So that thing's not going to move on you. And it's important to have a controller that doesn't move on you much when you're dealing with an arcade controller, arcade game, because precision's a big part of it. So here we are, we've got this guy now. And we're sitting at home trying to play Atari, and this thing is shaking around in our hand. We can put it down on a table, but it's still going to move around on us. It's not like this has suction cups, and even if it does, some of these do, and really all that ends up happening is the thing just slides around on you. So it's a less than stellar experience. And game to game, it could be anywhere from okay to outright terrible. And I would say that the game we're playing today with one of these could be outright terrible. Pitfall 2. We'll get into that later. Another controller, and you know, at the time when they made this, you really kind of gotta, you know, be like, all right, well, what are you gonna do? They didn't know any better. This was made somewhere around 78, 77, before the D-pad was even thought of. But, you know, as Atari started making other systems, they didn't learn their lesson. Let's take a look at the 5200 controller. This thing is even worse, and for a number of reasons. Okay, forgetting the dials here, the phone number thing, I'm not as worried about that as I am worried about the joystick. Okay, now if you play an arcade stick or a joystick, joysticks tend to snap back to the middle. Okay, if you press down and Mario ducks down and you let go of the controller, Mario gets back up on it again on his own. That's not the case with these 5200 joysticks. Take a look at this. The joystick, it moves, but it never centers back up into the middle. Okay? That's not good if you're playing a game like, I don't know, Berserk, or Centipede or something like that. I mean, it's just slow. It's slower than it needs to be. And then your action buttons are up here. What is that all about? This is how I want to, how they expect me to play? I don't want to play like that. Okay? No one wants to play it. It's very imprecise. And then they had the 7800. Okay, this is the third Atari system where Nintendo and Sega, I don't know if Sega, but certainly, yeah, well, Sega had the Master System out by now. So D-pad technology is very commonplace at this point. In fact, it's the standard for home console play, and yet the Atari releases the 7800, an excellent system, with a terrible, terrible controller. This thing's awful! I mean, at least it centers, unlike the 5200 controller, but it's still terrible. You don't want to play with this. These buttons are awful. Absolutely awful controller when you compare it to a Nintendo controller or a Sega controller, okay? For two big reasons, the button placement and the joysticks. So that's why a lot of people turn their nose up at the Atari, and I don't blame them, okay? But there is a way around it. And let's take a look at it, shall we? This is it, okay? Now, we're going to be playing Pitfall 2 today. We're going to be heading out to Peru, looking for some ink and gold. And we're not going to be using one of these nightmares, okay? We're not. Because, a little known fact, every Atari 2600 and every Atari 7800 actually has the same controller input as a Sega Genesis controller. So this is what we're going to be using today, okay? We're going to be using a Sega Genesis controller to play an Atari 2600 video game. And let me tell you, it is a game changer, especially when you're dealing with a game like Pitfall 2, okay? Because it's a platformer. I mean, can you imagine playing Super Mario Brothers with this? No. Sonic the Hedgehog with this? No. But I show you one of these, and you're like, absolutely. That's what I want for a platformer. Okay, and that's what Pitfall 2 is. It's got unlimited continues. It's got a checkpoint system, believe it or not. It's got background music, believe it or not. That's, believe it or not, was a big deal in Atari 2600 time. And it's, again, there's one button, and it's jump. And there's going to be all kinds of chasms and all kinds of obstacles that we're going to have to deal with if we're going to find what we're looking for today. And we need that jump button. We need that D-pad. We need that precision. Okay? So I think we're in good shape. Let's talk about what we're doing today. There is a treasure out there, my friends. There is a treasure to be found today, my mateys, in Pitfall 2. Okay? It's called the Raj Diamond. Alright, we're going to be heading out to Machu Picchu, Peru. And you may be like, what is Machu Picchu? I'm actually going to tell you. I've got a little blurb here. You know, nothing crazy, but I had no idea. So just for a little background, let's talk about Machu Picchu a second. Machu Picchu is an Incan citadel set high in the Andes Mountains in Peru, above the Ubambra River Valley. Built in the 15th century and later abandoned, it's renowned for its sophisticated dry stone wall that fuse huge blocks without the use of mortar. Intriguing buildings that play on astronomical alignments and panoramic views. The exact former use of Machu Picchu is an absolute mystery. Okay? But we're not too worried about why it was used now. We're worried about what it holds within. So we're going to be digging deep into Machu Picchu to find the Raj Diamond. Now, along the way, there are a couple of other things we may be finding. Pitfall Harry came out to Machu Picchu with his niece, named Miranda, and their cat called Quick Claw. I don't know if we're going to find them. I'm not that worried about them. What I really would love to find today is the Raj Diamond. So we're going to get started. I want to show you, you may be like, where the hell's Peru? Heck's Peru. I made an artist rendering. This is South America. Oh Lord, can you see that? There we go. South America, and that little X there. That's in the Andes Mountains. That's where Machu Picchu is. Okay? All right. So let's head out there right away. We'll get started. We're looking for the Raj Diamond. And I really haven't done a lot of, I didn't practice this, okay? Because I figure it's a platformer. Geez, if we can't pull off a platformer, we're kind of screwed. And, we want to try and explore together, okay? So let's get started. We're heading out to Peru. Ship just pulled up. Let's get started with Pitfall 2 for the Atari 2600. Oh, and by the way, we're not playing this on an actual Atari 2600. We are playing this on the Retron 5. We happen to have this game on Activision Anthology for the Game Boy Advance. An excellent compilation. If you can find it, highly recommend it. Let's go for it. All right, so there you go. Pitfall Harry's ready to go. You may see that, I don't know, like the first time I played this, I thought, well, there's Quick Claw. He's right there. But I don't think that's the case. I'm relatively sure that that's a monkey. Don't quote me. But this is it. Just one button. When arcade games first came out, they were all space shooters. Space Invaders in 1978 was really the game that started the whole video game craze. And there was really only one action button. Oh no, this had already happened. I got hit by a scorpion. This is what happens. You get sent back to your last checkpoint. And on the way, you lose points. That may happen a lot, guys. This is not easy. Okay, I'm going to try and make it as far as I can. But seriously, no guarantees, okay? And it wasn't like I practiced, because... What is that? Looks like a locust. I wanted to explore. I wanted this to be an adventure. I want to find that Raj Diamond. Oh boy, please don't loot. Okay, good. So yeah, when this game came out, or when Space Invaders came out, there were a whole host of copycats, and they were all doing the same thing. They were all space shooters, and the only action button you had was shoot. And then a little game called Donkey Kong came out, okay? And that changed the face of video gaming by changing one button. You think I can make it across this guy? Ah! What a drag. And now I'm out of points. So yeah, the idea of a character who could jump totally changed the landscape of video gaming, and I think that's why Pitfall has always been so memorable in fans of Atari's heads, because there were so many space shooters on the Atari, like Space Invaders, and while those are fun, here we have a free-form adventure. And then Pitfall 2 comes out and really changes the game, because it's like, you don't have 3 lives anymore. You're not having to play the first 5 minutes over and over and over. Obviously, I'm not good enough to deal with that front. Oh wait, okay, I think I figured it out. Hold on. Okay, go. Aha! Why didn't I think of that before? Yeah, I mean, this game, it wants you to explore. Ooh, so okay, so here's some gold. Here's some making gold. From what I understand, because I did look at the instructions. That's it. All right, looks like we're going down. There's only 28 piles of gold out there. What do you think? We think we should dump in? I think we're going to take the ladder. We'll play it safe. There's 28 pieces of gold out there. There's Rhonda, your niece, the cat, Quick Claw. Oh my god, there's even swimming. And of course, the reason we're here today, the Raj Diamond. And I'm really dying for a checkpoint. There's some more gold. I would really love to find another one of those red crosses. There's one! Okay, and that's what's great about this game. For an Atari game, the ability to continue if you make a mistake was really mind-blowing. My mind's still blown that they even came up with that concept this early on in video game history. You know, Mario Brothers gets all the credit when it comes to a memorable platformer. You know, really creating the gold standard. But man, I mean, look at this. This is pretty awesome. Alright, I'm only a couple levels up. It's awesome in that, well, for one thing, it's doing something that the original Mario Brothers didn't do, which is, look, I'm running left. I mean, I'm running anywhere I want here. That's pretty unheard of. At least in my eyes. It doesn't have fireballs. You know, I can't jump on top of the monsters. Sure, you know, Mario probably runs a lot better. And maybe it's my fault that I played the heck out of Mario in the 80s and didn't play this. Although I do remember... Oh, no. That's a drag. I do remember playing this as a kid. I do remember... I do remember beating it, too, but that was a long time ago, you know? Hold on a second, I got a stupid alarm going off. Jeez. Quiet. Sorry. I thought you know, you turn the volume down for like, there's like 8 different volume switches on a phone. You ever notice that? It's like you turn down the volume of the phone, and then you walk into a store, and then the GPS is going off, totally blowing up your whole spot here. You know, your destination is on the right. I'm in the destination. Okay, leave me alone. That was, you know, right there was an alarm. Oh, okay, I'm good. There's some more gold. All right, we got about 5 more minutes with Pitfall, and then we'll come back to the booty segment, which I'm dying for. But this is not bad at all. Man, I've really been wanting to play it, but I didn't want to until we got out here because I really feel like this is something we should be exploring together. And we're going deep, going seriously deep down here. I wonder how many of these golds we have. That's one thing that would have been nice. I should have been counting. You know, these are the days where you had to create your own inventory system. You know, like, nobody's tracking this for me. I needed to be writing down... okay. I needed to be writing down how many of these golds we picked up, or like, you know, I don't know, have some crayons that I could stack in a pile or something. You know, these games expected you to do a little bit of work on your own. But I will say that the nice thing about this Activision anthology that I'm playing this on... Oh, do I really want to go in the water? Not really. Oh, no! Oh, dude. I should have just went in the water. Wow, that's way back. That's way back. We should have just jumped in the water. I can't believe I did that. Look at this! Did we really go that far down? Oh my god, guys, I'm sorry. Jeez. Hey, there's some gold, though. Hey, what's this way? Did we go this way? No. There's nothing there. We probably did. We picked the gold up there. Let's grab that gold there. Oh, these stupid frogs are ridiculous. Well, why do they have to be hanging around right by the hole? These bats aren't helping much either. I gotta go quick. Oh boy. No! 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 This is a disaster. This is an absolute disaster. We're never gonna make it. All right, let's stay positive. Let's stay positive. You know, Pitfall Harry's dealing with a lot worse situations than we are. I mean, you know, we're the ones who just have to deal with the controller in our hands. He's the one who's getting, like, you know, bit in the neck by vampire bats and, I don't know, slimed by poisonous tree frogs here. Oh, God, I got an itch on my foot. Oh, that feels good. Oh, all right, I got it. Okay, back to it. All right, I'm just going to go straight down and drop in the water. I know I'm going to be regretting that. See, I feel like there's going to be something important on that last way down there. And that's why I was really committed to going for it. Maybe I can do it. I don't know. We'll see. Keep going, Harry. Come on, man. We don't got all day. And again, you know, I know the music's repetitive. It's probably going to be stuck in your head. But to have a score like this at the time was, I'm totally going to do it. Totally going to go for it. Okay. We can do this. Why? This is like... Why did I pick Pitfall 2? Oh my god. Ah! Alright, I'm gonna drop us into the water. And then we're gonna go to the booty segment. There's gotta be another checkpoint. I need another checkpoint. That's what I need. If we could get to another checkpoint, it would be, you know, so booty time. Okay? And trust me, I'm dying to get into the booty segment. I think I've been waiting, like, almost 2 weeks to open this chest, which doesn't make sense because we do this show, we do the, you know, we set sail every week. How much you want to bet down one of those pathways as a checkpoint? And I'm just missing it. But last week we scrapped the whole show in like a 24-hour period. We had a new booty segment, we had a new game, we had a new topic to discuss. And as a result, the booty the booty that I have sitting here, oh my god, that's it. That's it. You're done, Pitfall Harry. At least for now. Oh my god, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe how badly this voyage is going. Well, I guess I can. I mean, it's... That's the sign of a good game. It looks deceptively easy, and it becomes quite challenging. We'll get back to Pitfall Harry here soon. I mean, man, at this point, I hope we just find something. We found some gold. We found some gold, but we haven't found anyone else of real consequence. That Raj Diamond may be a lot deeper into these caverns than I had first thought. So anyway, here we go. Booty time, baby. Booty time. This is an exciting one for me because, as I said, I have been waiting over almost 2 weeks, over 2 weeks, to open this guy. I've really tried to be a good boy and not sift through this. Now, at the time, this was presented to me at a store in a stack, and I did take a look through it. I did see a couple games that really raised my eyebrow, but that was in a 5-minute period, and then I put it away and have not looked in here since. Okay? This was, it was already 8 days where I had to wait, thinking that we were going to be opening this last week. But then everything's changed last week. And so this has been sitting and stewing. Okay, so I'm ready to get through it. Not much story here. I went in the store. These guys know Raz. They were nice, and they know what I look for, and they put it in front of me. I took a quick glance, knew I wanted it. I said, I'll take it all. And they're like, really, all of it? And I said, yep. I'm like, they're like, you haven't even looked at it all? I'm like, I don't care. It looks good to me. Let's take it. Okay, so this is, for the most part, Game Boy games and a couple of GameCube games, okay? Let's look at the Game Boy games here first, because those are the ones that I really don't know. All right, so starting off pretty strong here, we have Final Fantasy Legend 2 for the original Game Boy. The nice thing about these games, or the interesting thing about these games, was there was a trilogy. Final Fantasy Legend 1, 2, and 3. I played Legend 1 all the way through when I was a kid on the old dot matrix, no backlit Game Boy, and had a blast with it. I mean, to have an RPG in the palm of your hand at that time was like magic. It really was. To have your own world sitting in your pocket like that was like absolute magic. Strained eyes and all, it was absolutely worth it. And I think what stood out to me the most with this one was it had classes like the original Final Fantasies before they started making pre-made characters. Like in the original Final Fantasy, you could build a party full of white mages and black mages and fighters and ninjas, whatever. 4 guys, you got to determine who they were. Same here. You'd have a party of 4, I believe, but there were different classes. I think there was a human class and a mutant class. Mutants were basically magicians. But one class was the monster class. Okay, you could have monsters in your party, and why that was interesting was you got this monster who was a pretty low-level guy, but he didn't level up experience-wise. The way he leveled up was the party would defeat a monster, and sometimes the monster's carcass or meat would stay behind, okay? And if your monster ingested the monster that you guys just killed, he could turn into a totally different monster. So you had no idea what you were going to end up with next. And that was a great, that really helped this game, because variety is always the key, especially when you're dealing with a handheld game, in my opinion. So every time you booted up the game, you never knew what kind of monster was going to be in your party next. So for me, that had a lot of that added a lot of legs to the game. And this is also the first RPG where I ever noticed items like rocket launchers and grenades. There was some contemporary stuff here. A lot of people think that Final Fantasy first really did that in Final Fantasy VII, or that's what they think of, is that steampunk edge. Well, here we had it here too. So that was pretty cool. Not a bad game at all. Actually, I haven't played the sequel, but I know it's comparable. So pretty cool to have that. Next one, we got a yellow guy here. Donkey Kong Land. Donkey Kong Land. Donkey Kong games can't go wrong. They're all pretty good. I can't say I'm particularly that excited about playing this one, but pretty cool to see. I think we actually have this in the hold already, so maybe we'll trade it off. This we don't have, though. And, for God's sakes, why not? Kirby's Dream Land. This is one that'll take you about an hour to beat and not even break a sweat, but it's a nice ride. And you'll notice that Kirby here, this is the only game they ever did this, Kirby's actually white. There, they hadn't determined that old Kirby's a pink puffball yet. And I think half of that was because this game is in black and white, so who knows what color he is. This one I've never heard of. I'm going to say it probably sucks. And it's funny because this is actually made by the same company that makes this nightmare that we're dealing with, Pitfall 2. Made by Activision. Buzz Lightyear Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. I couldn't even tell you what this is. Man, I'll tell you, you never know with these Game Boy Color games. I tend to think that every kid game on a Game Boy Color game is a platformer, but then they start throwing racers at you, they start throwing RPGs at you. I don't see a battery in this guy. A nice thing about these color games is you can see through them, see if there's a battery. So I think it's safe to say, this is Disney Interactive and Activision. I think it's safe to say this is a platformer, but whatever. Not that excited about it. Oh, here we go. It's pretty cool. Good on any system except for the Atari 2600. Pac-Man. Okay, no complaints there. Pac-Man's always pretty cool. What do we got here? Paperboy. You know, the thing about Paperboy is I don't understand why this game is in such demand still. I feel like, you know, most arcade games on these old systems, they're not that expensive because there's just so many different ways to play them, like Joust or Gallagher or something like this. But Paperboy, this is a game that on the Nintendo is still running like around 20, 25 bucks sometimes, and I don't get that. Especially the Nintendo one. I always thought, like, I don't know, I'd play Paperboy now and then in the arcade, but to spend, what was it, like the 40, 50 bucks to get the Nintendo game for your home console, and it was like really bad. Like, here, I mean, the graphic comparison from the arcade to the Nintendo for this game is really bad. I remember there's this in the arcade version. There's this guy who's breakdancing. Okay, he's doing that move where he goes in a ball and he spins around on his butt. You know what move I'm talking about, right? You know, it's like the classic breakdancer move where they spin around. Okay, well, they couldn't really do that in the Nintendo. So basically, they have a guy on his back, and his legs are up in the air, and it looks like he's just trying to pull his pants on. I wish I could show you, but anyway, it doesn't come off well. I don't know. I guess the gameplay's all right, but I still don't understand the demand for this game to this day. I'm sure it's fine on the Game Boy. I think we have this in the hold already. Okay. Yoshi also in the hold. Pretty decent puzzle game. This was on the Nintendo also. If there's a Nintendo game that you really want and you don't want to spend the ridiculous prices that Nintendo games go for these days, look for the Game Boy version. There are a lot of good Nintendo games that were ported to the Game Boy, like Yoshi. I think this is a pretty good one. Sometimes it gets a bum rap. I think it's a pretty good puzzler. I've spent some time with it. Super Mario Land. You know, the thing I like about Super Mario Land, this is one I played all the way through, had as a kid, played like crazy, is that there's actually some 2D shooter levels. You know, Mario's got I think he's got a submarine. I don't know, you can see it. He's in the water there. Yeah, good luck seeing it, Raz. You know, Mario's in the water. He's got a submarine. He's shooting down octopuses, octopi. He's got a plane, and he's shooting down, you know, enemy aircrafts. I love that they incorporated a little shooter into this game. I think it's a good one. And obviously it's Super Mario Brothers in the palm of your hand. That was mind-blowing at the time. Oh, wow. And right behind it, Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins. My God. What an evolution from the first Mario Land to the second. This one may as well be a Super Nintendo game for the most part. It looks and plays a lot like Super Mario Bros. 3 graphically. A lot of different suits here. There's a map where you can explore. I believe there's even kind of an economy system with the coins that you're picking up. Crazy good. And it's got a battery backup to it, so you can play a level, save it, and then put it down for later. Very good, highly suggested. Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins. Don't count it out. Great game. What do we got here? I don't think we have this one. Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle 2. Okay. These are pretty good games. The Bugs Bunny platformer games are pretty good. I've never played Crazy Castle 2, so that's kind of cool. I'm interested in popping this baby in and giving it a ride. And a few more here. Power Rangers Rescue. Okay, for the Game Boy Color. Who makes it? You know, that's a big determining factor because Natsume makes a couple of these Power Rangers games, and Natsume is gold, especially with Atari game or action games. This is made by THQ though. I don't know how excited I am about that. This one. Now, like I said, I glanced at these, and I said, okay, I'll take them all. This one I had to stop and really look at, and then I had to research it because it just looked too cool, even at a glance. It was burned into my head. Okay? This is called Night Quest by Taito, makers of Space Invaders, and a whole bunch of extremely expensive games on the Nintendo Entertainment System. And when I say expensive, I'm talking like hundreds of dollars expensive. Night's Quest by Taito for the Game Boy, an RPG. Never heard of it. And man, I mean, you get a dragon in front of me, and especially the lettering. I love the font here, used here. It almost harkens back to, like, you know, AD&D artwork. So when I saw this guy, I wasn't going to wait 2 weeks to figure out what it was. Like, it was burned into my head. So I looked it up, found out it was an RPG, and for a Game Boy game, hard to find one. This guy alone is running almost like a $25 bill. So, $25 bill, huh? It's worth around that. So, not that it's going anywhere. This guy's definitely staying in the hold. This may be one of the most unique Game Boy games we have sitting in the hold. So, pretty excited to pop this guy in. This is really what I've been waiting 2 weeks to do, is play Night Quest. So, pretty cool. One more here. Let's see what it is. Top Gun, Guts and Glory by Konami. I'm hoping, I'm praying that this is some sort of 2D shmup and not a flight simulator. Because not only am I not a fan of flight simulators, that would be awful on the Game Boy. And then we had a couple GameCube games here. These were on the shelf. And then I knew we were going to get them for cheap, so I just grabbed them, especially this one. Spyro, Enter the Dragonfly. You know, pretty common game on all systems, but if you're going to get a common game for cheap, hold out, and that was on all systems. Wait for the GameCube one. They always load up a little faster. They always look a little better. You know, relatively good condition here. Complete, it's got the manual. And then finally, there was also a copy of Mario Party 7, a game we do have in the hold. But again, you know, you're always trying to figure out some way to buy these games without spending and spending and spending. And when I saw Mario Party 7, I knew I would have a little play around money because these guys sell like hotcakes. So that's the situation here. We've got 2 GameCube games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Game Boy games. You know, mixed Game Boy Color games. So 13 Game Boy games, 2 GameCube games, and I believe, you know what, I've got the receipt here. Let's see what we paid. We paid 18 bucks. 18 bucks, so I think that was about $2 each for the GameCube games, and then $1 each for the Game Boy games. That was what they charged. So not a bad deal. Definitely some premium Game Boy games here. And that Knight's Quest looks really awesome. And I'll probably sell the Mario Party 7 for somewhere around $20-25. And look at that. We walked out of there pretty good price-wise. So there you go. Very excited. Thank God I finally got to open this baby up. Unfortunately, that means we have to go back to Pitfall 2, the Lost Caverns, and see if we can at least find one more checkpoint. Jeez. If we can't find treasure, let's at least find another checkpoint. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I put that over there, but whatever. Okay, here we go. Back to Peru, back to Machu Picchu, back to our inevitable demise. And return to game. Okay, there we go. Alright. Got bats and frogs coming after us. I mean, give me a break. For God's sakes, this music's still playing. It'll be stuck in my head forever. We've got another, 10-15 minutes here to try and... Oh, no. Oh, God. They're all working together. Let's try it again. Okay. Bats and frogs working together. Mass hysteria. And, again, I mean, I don't know the last time you played an Atari game, but this has so much going for it. I mean, we're scrolling. Think of all the Atari games that were on one screen, like, Donkey Kong or Centipede or Pac-Man. Actually, don't think about Pac-Man. Pac-Man's a nightmare. We're scrolling. We've got background music. No weapons. Maybe Harry should have thought of that. I know that in some of the later remakes, he's got a whip. Dude, what was I supposed to do there? I was supposed to go back up. I mean, I knew I couldn't make it. This has got to be the most botched voyage we've ever encountered here in the Galleon. I mean, this is what we get for leaving the country and heading out to effing Peru. It's one thing if we go to, like, some nice exotic city, stay in a hotel. I mean, what's the worst we can have? What's the worst problem we can have going to a foreign city? We don't know how to, order more towels from the foreign maid. I mean, this is different, though. There's no help. It's nothing but, wilderness and ruins and one big stupid ladder. I'm going all the way down, by the way. I bet there was something totally awesome on that last platform. But dude, if we have to go back to this ladder one more time, I'm gonna scream. We've gotta be there soon. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. I almost peed myself. Okay, go in the water. Oh! Oh, God. Oh, jeez. No, 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 no. This is not have to go. If we die, if we get hit once, we're all the way back up the stupid ladder. And we've still got, like, 10 minutes, at least, here in Machu Picchu. Please, stop with the stupid electric eels. Oh, God. Okay. And then another checkpoint, of course. Where is this water taking me? I feel like I'm being utterly teased. I don't think that this is a loop, okay? This isn't the Lost Woods in Zelda, where it's just gonna keep looping on you forever. That's not how this works, but how it is gonna work is it's gonna make me swim all the way here for an effing dead end. Oh my god. Guys, I mean, I don't know if you can blame me on this one. I mean, you know, I am the one navigating, I am the one steering the ship. I guess it comes down to me, but jeez, this is rough. I should have known not to go in the water, and I kind of did. I mean, I kind of knew not to go in the water, but when you're faced with, you know, 24 ladders, having to do that again, if you blow it, you're compelled to take the easy way, and that's exactly what happened here. I tried to take the easy way to no effing avail. I'm not even seeing any treasure here. I mean, I guess I saw some gold. But really, I mean, the treasure at this point is just going to be hitting another checkpoint. But, you know, that's old games for you, you know. Every small victory, you know, feels like you've conquered a mountain in these games. I mean, play Castlevania for the NES sometime, if you don't believe me on that one. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. No. Stupid game. A stupid game. I'm sorry. I mean, look, there's a compilation here. It's about 30 games. I mean, we could play around a river raid. You don't want to do that, do you? This is not easy. I mean, this is one go. This is what Pitfall Harry's whole life is you know, no armor. No weapons. The guy doesn't even have, like, a whip or something. I mean, at least Indiana Jones had a whip. Like a little Asian kid. He could at least throw at the enemies. Harry's got nothing. What is it? He's got his niece and a cat. And they're missing. I do love this game, though. You know, it's challenging. It's especially challenging with what we're doing here. But if it's just you sitting on your couch with a pal, it's really cool. I mean, think about the level of complexity that we saw in this small little cartridge that was made, you know, somewhere in the 80s. I don't know exactly when this guy was made. 84. So when you think about that, I think Super Mario Brothers was in the arcades at this point. Wasn't in home console, except for maybe in Japan on the Famicom. It didn't really get, you know, Super Mario Brothers didn't really change the face of gaming here in America until 85. So this was pretty good. I mean, it's funny because this was made during the video game crash is when this was released. Video game crash happened in 83, and this comes out a year later, and it's phenomenal. I mean, look at what we've done. I mean, again, this is leaps and bounds beyond the first Pitfall. People talk about the first Pitfall. This one's way over it. So, sorry, you know. Not every voyage is going to come out with gold and diamonds and pearls. Can you even see that? God. I'll have to think twice the next time I take us out to effing South America. You know what I'm saying? Let's head back to Indianapolis, where things are cozy and nice and warm. Head on back to Port Bismuth and, you know, get the ship fixed and get our, you know, lick our wounds. You know, hopefully we can get out to, I don't know, Daytona for spring break or something next week. Make it a little easier on ourselves. What are you gonna do? So hey, let's do the mailbag segment, and then yeah, we'll head back to more comfortable shores. You know what I'm saying? Whew, not every adventure is gonna come out with dancing girls. Okay, so what do we got in here? We got a T-shirt, an old broken phone. Oh, Halo: The Fall of Reach, the novel. Yeah. And before you laugh at this, there's more than one. Okay, Halo novels are big. An old Sony Walkman, Discman. Sorry, Discman. What appears to be a dismembered limb of, I don't know, an old Yoshi figure or something. And our letter for the day. Okay, here we go. So we do have a question. This comes from a rebro, and he says, is there an audience we can't see? Please tell me you're in a room full of people. Well, no, a rebro. Thank you for the question, first of all. No, there's no one here in the hold, or in the captain's quarters at least. We do have guards sitting outside the hold, obviously, and we do have, deckhands dealing with, getting the ship there. The navigator pretty much runs itself. For the most part, the Galleon's on autopilot, but, obviously you want people walking the deck and manning the cannons just in case. Automation takes care of you only so far. So, but as for here in the captain's quarters, no, it's just us. And I mean, I've actually been asked this before. In fact, when we first got the ship, the YNL crew, we got it together and we got in the water, and I said I would be doing, a cast from the ship, and they said, well, are you going to have anybody else involved? And I said, I wasn't sure. My first instinct was, let's establish who Cap and Raz is in the Galleon, a couple episodes, and then, we'll look from there. Maybe we'll have some, a guest or a partner on or something like that. And as I got to thinking about it, I started thinking about what the things that I like to watch. And mainly the things that I like to watch are a huge inspiration of what we're doing here. I watch three things mainly. First of all, I usually watch pre-recorded stuff. I like stuff that's not live. I like stuff that is done live, like live to tape. But when you get into just a live production, there's a lot of BS that's just kind of, I don't know, you're watching the guy set it up and stuff. It's kind of boring to me. So I like live to tape. So that's usually what I watch. For the most part, I watch three different things. I watch game reviews, or Let's Plays, but mostly game reviews, short stuff. I like pickup videos, and what that means is, when we go through the booty segment, that's essentially a pickup video. What did we find out there in the wild, and how did it happen? And then finally, I like vlogs, not like, common, I went out to a movie today, not that crap. I'm talking about, like, let's dig into your past, let's dig into our memories and come up with something fun. And so those were really the main inspirations for the Galleon, is combining those three into one long voyage of imagination every week. So so these people would make these reviews and these vlogs and these pickup videos. I really enjoyed them. There's so many people out there to watch. You find the guys that you like, and you really get invested in them. And I've noticed that when I would watch their videos, if they had anyone else on, like a friend or a guest or a girlfriend, or they went out to a convention and did an interview, I realized that I instantly lost interest, because that person that I really like becomes a totally different person when there's someone else in there with them in person. They're not who I like to watch anymore. So I noticed that, they're literally guys that I absolutely love that I can't get a minute into their video if they have someone with them. So that's when I realized that that's what I want this to be. It's time with you, and it's time with me. And if you don't like to watch me, then, there's a whole host of other people to watch. And I understand. find who you like. But if you do like me, if you do like what we're doing here, I need to make sure that that's what we're going to keep doing. Okay? So, no, there's no audience here, Arebro. It's just us. And until further notice, that's how it's going to be. Okay? But I appreciate you giving me a question. I can't tell you how important the questions are, because this is our time to discuss what's going to be happening here on this old tub of adventure. Okay? So that's it. Wow, man, we really need... I think next week maybe I'll get a game that that was designed for like 3-year-olds or something. Teletubbies from the PlayStation 1. Anybody have a copy of that? That can't be that hard to find or that hard to play, right? So I don't know. Maybe I'll just have to practice on old Pitfall Harry and help him find that diamond one day. Thank you for sailing with me. If you do have a question for the Gaming Galleon, by the way, you can send it to gaminggalleon@gmail.com. You can tweet it to Yesterday Night L, or you can leave it as a comment or message on any of our productions, whether that be on YouTube or Twitch. Someone will get it to us. Okay? So thanks a lot. Thanks for coming by. We'll try again next week. We'll have some laughs. We'll have some fun. Maybe we'll uncover some treasure. And until then, farewell and adieu to ye Spanish maidens. Farewell and adieu, ye ladies of Spain. For we received orders for to sail back to Peru. And we may never see ye fair ladies again. Oh, that's bitter. Tell you what, man. Rhonda, Pitfall Harry's niece, she's got to be scorpion food by now. Keep your powder dry, mateys.